In this video I'm going to take you through how to drip feed the TNC 155. So here we are looking at my Maho mill with the TNC 155 controller, and over here we have my PC, just a little new unit of computing that I use, I've explained before in other videos. So here you see the TNC server program, and I'll just go through it quickly again. You click on folder, you can see it's passed through my intranet to a folder on my main PC inside the house by the intranet and a router. So we'll just say OK to that. You can see the path here. Configuration. You can see it's been set for the TNC 155 B&Q. It's in FE mode. It's clicking this is found COM4, and it's at 9600 baud. So that program is basically the TNC server is now ready to serve files. Before I run the program, we should have a look at the actual program itself. But before I run it, I'd like to say a big thank you to Sir George for his YouTube video on drip feeding. It actually covers a great deal more than just drip feeding. Program transfer, wiring, and very handily a converter from RS-232 to USB. I highly recommend you have a look at it. And now back to the program. So you can see here that the program starts by just setting some defaults and basically shifting to a 0 point. Then it sets incremental movements and then just repeats incrementing X by 10 microns in every single line, and we'll just shift down and have a look all the way down to the very bottom of the program, and here we are at the bottom, and it simply switches off. So you can see we do nearly or around about 3,000 incremental moves. So now we have the Heidenhain all set up ready to do some drip feeding, and I've got it in run full sequence mode. So all I have to do now is come down here and press external, and it's put in here program 101, and when I hit enter we'll see what it does. Okay, it's found the program and it's reading it in, and over here it's still reading it in on TNC server, and basically it's filling what available memory there is. Now let's come over here, and you can see it's still filling the buffer, but it doesn't look like anything's happened. So now I can come over here and press run, and you'll watch what happens here. We're going through a zeroing program. Okay, and now it's just going to go through this sequence. So you can see that it's actually increasing each X movement by 10 micrometers, and it just keeps doing that in incremental moves. Now you might have seen as we went past that the maximum speed is for the feed is 1000 millimeters a minute, and if we look down here at the actual feed, it's obviously not going anywhere near that. It's basically never getting out of the approach and depart mode of seeking for each point. Okay, so we just keep going like that. Now we're already up at some number that is higher than what we saw on TNC server. We'll come over here and have a look, and you can see it's keeping ahead of the machine. So here you can see that TNC server has come to the end of the program and finished. And here we can see that the machine has finished the program and there is nothing in memory. For your convenience, I've added the parameters that need to be set to make it work like my machine. They are the same as Sir George recommends, and by the way, you can get to his video by simply googling Sir George Heidenhain, except for MP223, which is set for serial on mine rather than blockwise. I don't know if there's any difference, but it works for me and I was reluctant to change it. My machine initially came with a punch tape, and I presume all those parameters for printer are associated with the punch machine. It's long since disappeared into history, so I suspect they are not of much importance. And here, most importantly, I want to draw your attention to the limitations on drip feeding. Because the machine reads one block at a time and discards it, you can't use subroutines in your program, nor can you do various types of jumps, because there's nowhere to jump to if you're only reading and remembering one block of code at a time. Hence the very, very simple program I wrote so as not to get trapped by these limitations. It also notes, and I haven't tested this, that you can go to roughly 65,000 lines or blocks of code, and that happens to be 2 to the 16th power, and it's a 16-bit machine. And finally, I've included the next page in the manual to show the sequence of console buttons you need to push to get the operation to function. And remember that the console on the TNC 155 is where all these file transfers are controlled from. The TNC server program is basically just a passive translator and serial communicator. So that's as far as I'm going to go with this video. I hope it's been helpful and maybe help you debug and getting the drip feeding working on your machine. Thanks for watching.